Here we come again, grade 5. Our study skill for this week is use a timeline. Okay, first of all, we ask ourselves, what is a timeline? Let's read together. A timeline is a diagram that shows important or related events in the order they take place. The timeline below tells about a family named Phillips. Okay, so before we start reading this timeline or this paragraph, let me show you something, or let me tell you something. A timeline, when I say timeline, directly you will come across your mind a line, right? A line that shows time in order. Every one of you can make a timeline for his life, right? For example, my timeline at 1989, I was born. Okay, you mention the date and you write the important event that happened. For example, 1992, it was my first walk. Let's say 1993, it was my first talk or my first word. Okay, let's say 1995, it was my first day at school. So this is a timeline. A timeline is a line or a graph or a diagram that shows the main or the very important events at a specific time. Okay? And of course, this should be real. Usually we use timelines in real stories. Like here, for example, our story, which is Grandma Essie's covered wagon, is a biography. A biography means it's a story, yeah, but they are telling us about a real person. Okay, the biography tells about the life of a real person. So for that, when using timeline, we know that this is something real. Times are real, events are real. Okay, let's see this timeline together. We have here 1901. It was father, mother, Lucy, age 5, moved from Nashville, TN to Little Rock. This was the main event, of course, from the story. 1903, what was the event? Edward born, did you see? Wright brothers fly first airplane. So what were the main events that happened in 1903? Edward was born, and it was the brothers, the first airplane. It was the first time that they fly the airplane. 1904, family moved to St. Louis. This is a very important event. They moved their house. All the family moved to St. Louis. 1910, Aunt Sarah moves in and father buys a car. Did you see the event that happened in 1910? 1912, Lucy goes to college in Massachusetts. 1914, World War I begins. 1917, Lucy joins Red Cross and goes to France. In 1918, Edward learns to fly an airplane. So did you see? This is a timeline on each specific time, real time, an important event that happened. Let's see these questions. Use the timeline to answer these questions. 1. How many years does this timeline cover? How many years? From 1901 to 1918. How many years? So from 1 to 18. Let's say it's 18 years. So it covers 18 years. Where was Edward born? Look at the timeline. Edward born when? In 1903. So 1903. 1903. How old was Lucy when her father bought a car? When did her father buy a car? Here. Buys a car. He bought the car in 1910. Okay, so how old was Lucy here? How old was Lucy? See, in 1901, Lucy, she was 5. Okay, then 1910, how old is she? From 1 to 10, how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 years, right? From 10 years. So here she was 5. When her father bought the car, she was 5 plus 10. So she was 15 years old. Why do you think the timeline mentions the Wright brothers? Of course, because they are one of the family members. Okay. Why might a timeline be good to include a biography? Why do you think that the timeline is good to include in a biography? Why do you think that? Of course, because it shows the main events of her lifetime. Okay, because the timeline shows the main events in a lifetime. Clear? So, because it shows the main events in a lifetime. Okay, I hope that is clear and easy for you. It's about timeline. Don't forget that using timeline means it should be included or used in real stories. Okay, of course you have homework on the practice book. The page is already pictured and I attached it to your agenda on iSchool. Okay, thank you and good luck.